Hi, my name's Chanel. Thank you for joining me again here at Kaylin Kitchen. I'm going to show you how to garnish this recipe that we made earlier with vegan Parmesan. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need for your vegan Parmesan is cashew nuts. So I'm going to add approximately maybe a cup of cashews, or maybe a cup and a half. You can just estimate it, to be honest with you. You don't have to be very particular with your measurements. So a cup and a half of cashew nuts, and we are going to process our cashew nuts down until they are the consistency of breadcrumbs. But before we do that, we're going to add something here called nutritional yeast flakes. Now don't get it confused with the bread yeast, it's completely different, okay? So nutritional yeast flakes is what's going to give it that cheesy flavour, okay? So it's completely different from normal yeast, you know, bread yeast. And then we're going to add that to our mixture now. So the more cheesy you want it, the more yeast flakes you add. But as a general rule of thumb, for about a cup and a half of cashew nuts, I'm going to add maybe half a cup, or maybe a third a cup, no, half a cup of yeast flakes, or in fact maybe a little bit more. I want it nice and cheesy. Okay, so there is the yeast flakes, and I'm also going to add some bouillon seasoning. Now that will add some flavour to it, that saltiness, because you know normally cheese is quite salty. Now this is nowhere near as salty as normal cheese, obviously, and it contains none of the cholesterol or any of the other like crazy stuff that normal cheese has got in there. So we're going to go ahead and put our bouillon in there, not too much, we don't want it too salty, maybe about a tablespoon. That's maybe about 2 tablespoons, but that's okay. Alright, so you've got your bouillon, your seasoning, you've got your nutritional yeast flakes. These can be a little bit difficult to get a hold of. They're at most vegan shops, or you can get them off the internet. Bizarrely enough, even Amazon sell them, so you can get them off the internet, but they may not be readily available in your local supermarket. Okay, so we've got the yeast flakes, the bouillon, the cashews. I don't think I need to add any salt because the bouillon is salty enough by itself. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of garlic powder, not too much because you don't need to overpower. So I've added like maybe half a teaspoon there. So I'm going to go ahead and process this until it is the consistency of fine breadcrumbs, and then I'm going to use that to garnish the recipe that we made earlier, okay? Now you don't want it too processed, otherwise it will just look like flour, and you know Parmesan cheese doesn't look like that. So I'm going to process it a little bit more because you don't want big bits of cashew in there, but at the same time you don't want it too fine, alright? Almost. Okay, that's just about right. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, just a little bit more. Alright, so I think we are done now. Yes, we are indeed done. Lovely. Let me just taste it to see if it's okay. That's fine, okay? If you wanted it to be cheesier, like what I said, you'd add more of this, the nutritional yeast flakes, but that is just fine. Again, if you want specific measurements, just check the bottom of the screen and you'll get them. So, here is our, actually that is a bit grainy. I'll take that back. It needs more processing. So let me go ahead and process that a little bit more. Too much you don't want that. You see those big bits of cashew nuts? You don't want that in your Parmesan, okay? That's not how you want it to look. So let us continue processing. I personally wouldn't mind big bits of cashew nut being in my Parmesan, but most people, you know, don't want that, so you don't want that. Okay, now we've got to be done. Yes, we are. All right, so now you've got your Parmesan, and actually maybe that could even do with more processing. Oh dear, but that's okay. That's all right how it is. So there you go. So there you go. There you've got your vegan Parmesan. contains no cholesterol, no cheese, none of the crazy fats that are in the cheese, just pure cashews, nutritional yeast flakes, bouillon, and a little bit of garlic powder. We're now going to go ahead and garnish the pecan meatballs with the Parmesan. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll be done. Okay, so just go ahead and garnish that. Alright, okay. And there you have it. Pecan meatballs, your homemade tomato sauce, and your homemade vegan Parmesan cheese. Enjoy. Okay, so there you have it, your very own pecan meatballs, your homemade tomato sauce containing no vinegar, and your very own cashew Parmesan cheese. Enjoy.